Good evening. Welcome again to the Dunamis concept. I'm Pastor Dwayne Schaff. This is the sixth week that we've just been running these videos, these little clips, just things that we believe we can learn, that we can ingrain in our lives to help us rise up to be the people that God destined us to be. All right, knowing that from the very beginning I said we were all built on a purpose. We were built on purpose, with a purpose, for a purpose. And so today we're going to talk about living on purpose. And rising up to who God called us to be means living with the desire to pursue and to please Him and to portray Him to the world, and not necessarily rising up to what the world says we should be, but what God has said we should be. If you want to turn, if you have a Bible, turn to Romans chapter 12, looking for verse 9. We're going to read 9 to 16, right? And we're just going to talk about those points, each point as we go through it, and the ability to stop and say, I'm not going to do what the world says. I'm going to do what God says. And what does that mean? So it says this. It says, let love be without hypocrisy. Abhor what is evil. Cling to what is good. Right? How many times in our lives, I know the most of us, the cry of our heart is to be good or to do good. But let love be without hypocrisy. Can we study to love people equally, truthfully? Can we abhor what is evil? Right? Why are we drawn when we hear about another sex scandal? We watch that article in the news. When we hear about this, we watch that. But when we're talking about missionaries in Africa, it's change the channel. Change the channel. Can we love without hypocrisy? Can we start to say, let's just love equally? Can we cling to what is good? It goes on to say, be kindly affectionate to one another with brotherly love. Be kindly affectionate. For years in my life, I've wrestled with sarcasm. And I started praying not that long ago. I started praying, God, I want to be holy, for you are holy. And one of the things that I really get convicted about is the sarcasm, the way that I speak sarcastically to my friends and then, oh, it's only a joke. That's not brotherly love. In honor, giving preference to one another, not lagging in diligent, fervent in spirit. In honor, giving preference to one another. I know for myself, I wrestle with a me mentality. People are like, wow, you're really generous, but I don't think about that. I think about me. Am I going to get what I want? And so to actually study with honor, with great favor, to say, you know what, you're worth more than I am. Let me help you. Giving preference to one another. Not lagging in diligence. Right? When your hand started doing something, do it. When you said, I'm going to help, help. Fervent in spirit. Passionate in spirit. Serving the Lord. I do all things for Christ. And I want the world to see, when I get to heaven, I want the world, as they stand around, I want them to say, that guy lived on purpose. Rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation. And how many of us are guilty of praying that this thing would end, not praying that we'd learn? Continuing steadfastly in prayer. Distributing to the needs of the saints. Listen, if you have an abundance of jackets, I guarantee there's somebody in your church that has a lack of jackets. Distribute to the needs of the saints. I remember when I first moved back to Lethbridge, there was a young man, he's gone to be with the Lord now. He came to me and he said, you need shoes. And I had a bit of a shoe addiction. I had a whole bunch of shoes. And I had a pair of shoes that I've been wearing for 6 months. And I had a brand new pair, the exact same shoes, because I loved them. And I thought, well, I'll go home and I'll get those used shoes and I'll bring them for this young man, and then I can wear the new shoes. You know what I'm saying? And I got home and God said, you know what, tell me one time I gave you my second best. And I cried, and I put those shoes in my backpack and I took them for that young man, and they fit. And he was blessed, distributing to the needs of the saints. Not judging them. Far too often we judge people. Wow, why do you need shoes? Why do you need this? Let's just distribute lovingly to the needs. Give into hospitality. Bless those who persecute you. Do I need to explain that one? Bless those who persecute you. Bless, do not curse. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Weep with those who weep. Far too often we throw stones at the people that are rejoicing. And we tell people that are crying that they need to man up or toughen up. You can get through it. No. We need to encourage people to use their emotions. Rejoice with them. Weep with them. Be the same mind toward one another. Do not set your mind on high things, but associate with the humble. Do not be wise in your own opinion. Listen, I want to talk about that word humble for a minute. I'm going to wrap up. I know we're going a little long, but I want to wrap this up right here with this. The word humble, too many people, they don't live excellence because they want to be humble. Listen, that word there, what it's saying is be the absolute best you can be. Put everything you have into what God has given you to do. If it's loving people, if it's work, if it's playing the guitar, put everything you have into that. And when people look and say, wow, that's awesome, just point to Jesus. Have the humble mindset that says, you know what, all I have, all I can do is everything that He gave me. I don't want to be the best in the world. I just want to be the absolute best with everything God has given me. Because I want to bring glory to who He is. In Jesus' name.